this moment, in this place, in the stillness of our open hearts, we have come to share the presence of the God within, and to hold a sacred space in this moment, at this time, where we feel the oneness of all. We have come to share the sanctuary of love in this moment, in this place, in this moment, in this place. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Walnut Creek. Please join us in singing, You Are the Light. Thank you. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. You are the light of peace. I am the light of peace. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of peace. You are the light of joy. I am the light of joy. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of joy. You are the light of hope. I am the light of hope. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of hope. You are the light of love. I am the light of love. You are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. We are the light. I am the light. We are the light of love. We are the light of love.
Good morning. And welcome. I suppose that people are still getting over last night. I take it everybody had a good time. Yeah. Welcome, and please join me in turning to our cameras and saying hello to our friends online. Hey. Welcome. It is a pleasure to have you with us as always, and sit back and enjoy our service today. Our special song leaders today are Chip and Nancy Donovan, and our dynamic guest artist is our dear friend, Carrie Hillary. And my name is Sheila Gautreaux. I'm one of your ministers here at Unity of Walnut Creek, and it is such a good pleasure of mine to see you. It's always wonderful to see you. If you are new to Unity, you have embarked on a journey of positive living. We are a spiritual path for positive living. Our messages and our teachings embody the principles of the highest possibilities for our lives. And we show you how to use them to create the life you wish to live into. While we do teach that there is but one presence in the universe, we honor the many paths to that presence. So in our service, you may hear things in the message or in the music that resonates from other spiritual traditions. We invite you to enjoy them, to take them in, and to explore the possibilities of those traditions. Our foundation teaching is that of affirmative prayer, the power of affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer is the yes action of the mind. And let us have an experience of that affirmative prayer now as we say together our opening prayer statement. Together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Take that in and just feel it all within the depths of your being. Let it fill us up. Lift us up. And let's say it together again. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And as we take it in deeper, and allow it to expand outward from us, touching the person next to you, filling the sanctuary, spilling over into our friends online. And once more, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And let us take it in even more deeply and send it out into our world, everywhere, to everyone, touching every heart that beats. And so it is. I invite you now to remain seated and join Chip and Nancy in our next congregation song.
I am so blessed, I am at peace, all that I need lives within me. I am so blessed, I am at peace, I am so blessed. So blessed, I am at peace, all that I need lives within me. I am so blessed, I am at peace, I am so blessed, I am at peace.
So I invite you, if there's a teddy bear next to you and you'd like to meditate with it, you may. And let us become comfortable in our chairs. Allow the weight of the chair to hold your body. Feet on the floor. And if you feel comfortable, you may close your eyes to shut out any visual distractions. And holding our teddy bear, let us allow the music to take us even more deeply into the experience. Be still and know that I am
still and know that I am God. Be still, be still, be still, and know that I am God.
Us.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still, be still, be still, and know that I am God.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. That is the calling of infinite presence, the Lord of our being, calling us to the great depths of silence, where we receive the infinite wisdom of the ages. Within the doorway of our hearts, where all the guidance, direction, love, peace, comfort, and joy await us at the very moment that we are still and know the presence of the God of our being. We open our minds to receive the wisdom that rises from the place of the heart in that stillness. That we may make our greater choice in life through the discernment and the intuition that lives only there. We embrace the comfort that we find there as we move through the challenges of our lives. Letting that love ease our fears, remove our doubts. When we are still. Our lives take on the stillness that resonates from us. And peace flows through us, through our lives, through our communities, through our world. And all that is being asked of us is to be still and know that I am God in the silence. Beloved Mother, Father God, in whom we live and move and have our being, we are so grateful for the time that we have spent with you and with each other. We are grateful for the wisdom, the guidance, the direction, the comfort and the love that we have received. We go forward renewed, re-energized, revitalized, ready to express the love we have received in our lives, in our families, in our communities, and in the world. We bring the light of peace everywhere we walk, spreading the light throughout the world. Experiencing and living as the power of the possibilities that live within our relationship with you. And where we walk, love goes with us to every corner of our planet. Touching the hearts of every living thing. And from this, we affirm that divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. Please join me. Divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And again, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world. And once more, divine love flows through my heart, enfolding and blessing the world.
I am God.
And so it is, for it could not be otherwise. And together we say, Amen.
Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm lazy, naked and glad. And I've been this person for such a long time. Right now I'm changing into someone divine. Changing, changing, it feels so good. I'm an explorer, hard on the trail of self-discovery, and I will not fail. It isn't easy, but I'm gonna find my true nirvana, soul, body, and mind. Changing, changing, it feels so good. Changing, changing, feels so good. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Sing it with me. Changing, changing, it feels so good. Changing, changing, it feels so good.
My name is Jennifer Hooker, and it's my pleasure to highlight a few of the many upcoming events here at Unity of Walnut Creek. Our annual meeting and election of board members is next Sunday after the 11:30 service. A light lunch will be served before the meeting, and our children will be having a fall celebration during the meeting. Our annual teddy bear drive begins next Sunday and continues through the second Sunday in November. Our book center has cute and cuddly bears. Please bring your donated bear to service where they will receive our love before they are given to the children. And this Wednesday evening, Reverend David will teach the heart math technique, heart mapping. This tool lets the user experience the intelligence of both the head and the heart together in creating meaningful experiences. And to find out more about classes and other wonderful activities, please consult your bulletin and/or our website. And until you hear the gong, please enjoy taking a moment to greet the people immediately around you.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Gonna shake hands round the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna shake hands round the world. I'm gonna let it shine. Gonna shake hands round the world. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
His hand in mine, my baby learns to stand. Soon he lets go, and he walks on his own. Before my eyes, he grows from boy to man, and all that I know is things will change. The only thing that I know for sure is change. Laughing with friends about turning gray, and I see the white in my own hair. I feel the years slip away, and all that I know is things will change. The only thing that I know for sure is change. Holding my dad as I watched him fade away. Time moves like footprints in sand. Watched over my mom till the end of her days, and all that I know things will change. The only thing that I know for sure is change. Embracing the gifts that time will bring. I see the leaves turn green to gold, and I know the warmth of summer will follow spring, and all that I know is things will change. The only thing that I know for sure is change.
Thanks, Carrie. Carrie wrote that for my message today, so I guess you know I'm going to be talking about change. Beautiful song. Well, one of the things that we know is that change is the one constant, which Carrie has so beautifully demonstrated in the lyrics of her song, where she talks about the various types of changes that we witness and experience in our lives. And it was witnessing the changes that I was seeing around me in such large numbers in my life, in our community here, and in our world, and that I was experiencing for myself all of these back-to-back-to-back multiple changes, and there were just so many that it took me back to a book by my favorite instructor when I was studying at Unity Institute at Unity Village, Robert Brumet's Finding Yourself in Transition. Amazing, a powerful book. I took the class with him, and I even taught the class maybe it was 2005 or 6. And I'd really forgotten about the book and the class, but then I kept seeing all of these changes and so many drastic and unexpected changes showing up in people's lives and in the world today, that I decided I needed to go back and revisit this. And it was so powerful to go back to that and to look at the way he explains the process of change or transition and supports us in moving through it in an easier, more knowledgeable way. And I said, I need to talk about it. I need to talk about it. Because there are so many people in our congregation who could probably use this information. You see, change is a type of death. Every change is a type of death because with change there is an ending. Change is always preceded by an ending of something we've loved, something we're holding on to, a concept about ourselves or our lives, a relationship, a marriage, someone who dies. There is a type of death in all change, and the number one thing that we fear is death. Even a serious medical diagnosis is a change, it's a transition, it is a kind of death. Because we are dying to something previously and moving through it to something else. Pain in change is inevitable. Pain in transition is inevitable. However, suffering is optional if we understand the process, the stages of transition, and what we can do about it as we move through it. We do not have to live in a state of suffering as these transitions occur within our lives. Transition like the Ebola situation and other threats to the security umbrella that we have been living in under in this nation. It is a kind of death because we are dying to the feeling of safety and security we once had. But there is a powerful process that is going on in this transition. Brumet parallels it to the journey of the Israelites, or children of Israel, as we refer to them, in their journey from slavery to the promised land. And he says that in the process of transition, while we do experience the pain, the power is in knowing that there is a purpose to it that is unfolding as we move through it. So, let's look at first the stages of transition. Then we're going to look at the journey of the Israelites in their transition. And then we're going to bring it together as the parallel for our lives. And then we're going to look at some steps we can use to move through the transitions that are showing up in our life right now. So the first stage of transition is endings. Endings. every transition is preceded by an ending. And within these endings, or this type of death, as I have said, there are 4 aspects. And the first aspect of the ending is disengagement. We are pulled away from something we held dear. A relationship, a marriage, a job, a house, children leaving home to go to college. We are pulled away from something we were connected to. It may be our safety. If in a medical diagnosis, it may be our security that we are healthy and safe from illness. That is stripped away from us. We disengage from it. And that is terrifying. It is a very terrifying experience. And from the disengagement is disidentification. Because you see, everything in our lives, we have an identity related to it. In the marriage, we were either husband or wife. Or maybe we had family unit, and so we were part of a family. So we have lost the identity of husband or wife or family. In the death of someone, if it is a mother, we have lost the identity of daughter or son. If it is a father, we've lost the identity of daughter or son. If it's a sister, we are no longer identified as the sibling of that person. If it is retirement, and believe it or not, retirement is a kind of death because we no longer have the identity as employed or as part of ABC company. If we change our house, we sell our house to move to another neighborhood because we're paring down, because we're becoming empty nesters, or because financially it is necessary, we are no longer the neighbor of the Smiths. We are no longer part of that neighborhood, so we lose the identity of that which is removed from our lives. Suddenly, drastically. The next is disenchantment. This is where we lose our faith in something we have believed in. Maybe we lose our faith in marriage. Maybe we lose our faith in being safe. Maybe we lose our faith in God. We lose our faith in something that we have believed in related to that which has been taken away. And the final piece of endings is disorientation. And of course, if we have lost something dear to us and then lost our identity, and then lost our faith, of course, there is a disorientation. We feel as if we have nothing to hold on to. We've lost our life maps. And we're struggling to find our way. And this leads into the second stage, which is the void. And it is in the void that we are stripped naked. We are stripped down to our pure self, that self without the trappings of what was, without the labels of what we had or what we were connected to, so that we can be moved through to the next stage, which is the new beginning and the new realization of who we are and the new person we are becoming or have become. But the void is that time where the seed lies fallow in the ground, losing its covering so that the roots can grow out and go deep into the earth to create the plant which is becoming. Are you with me? And it is a scary time, that time of the void. How many of you have experienced the void? Yeah. Yeah. It can be something that can make us want to give up. When people were asked how it felt or how they felt during a drastic transition, they said they felt loss. They felt as if the bottom had dropped out. They felt discouraged. They didn't even know who they were. That's the void. But it's okay, because you see, the transition is all about the potential that is rising up within us to create this new awareness, this new level of consciousness, this new being that we are moving toward. So even though it is painful, when we understand what it is we are experiencing, we can hold on without giving up, because we know that the void is not the death, but the void is the beginning of the awakening. The void is preparing us. And Brumet says, it is the time when we must turn within to the God of our understanding and trust that we are being guided. The void is also known as the wilderness experience. And the last stage of transition is the new beginning, the new awareness, the new life, the new you, the new me, the new us that is being formed. It's that plant that the seed created the roots to grow. That plant has sprouted. It has grown. It has matured. It's ready for harvest. And yes, this transition is painful. But we can't avoid the suffering once we understand what is happening to us. And most of the time, we have not known what's going on. We truly have experienced that it was a death. But we haven't understand that without death, there's no life. So when there is a death, there is a life that comes after it. And so the children of Israel, in their journey, and I won't bother with the scripture because it's so much, and it's in 3 different books of the Bible and so forth, but Cliff Notes version. God goes to Moses and says, go to Pharaoh, tell him, let my people go. Children of Israel who've been in captivity. And Moses says, say what now? God says, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And Moses says, who, me? Who am I going to go to Pharaoh and tell him that he's got to let his people go? And God said, tell them I am. Tell them I am sent you. I am that I am. And so Moses goes and says, let God's people go, and Pharaoh says no, and so what ensues, of course, is all the different plagues, the frogs and locusts and the bug and the boils and so forth, death. You all know all the story. Okay, you saw Charlton Heston in the movie. If not, rent it. And ultimately, Pharaoh says, oh, take these people. It's not worth it. So they begin their journey, and the first thing they meet is the Red Sea. So the children of Israel represent our soul in its human embodiment as it moves toward and through each stage of our evolution in consciousness. Moses represents that divine spark within us sent by the soul to lead us out of our captivity, our bondage to those things in our lives that keep us from evolving to the highest and best possibility that we are capable of. Pharaoh represents the human ego, and that's what keeps us in bondage, because the ego is constantly feeding us with erroneous ideas that we are not good enough, that we are unworthy, that we are unlovable, that we can't do it, that we'll never find a job, that we'll never have a relationship, that we'll never have love, that we'll never be loved. And so the Moses of us frees us from the erroneous actions of the ego. The Red Sea represents those things that rise up, those challenges that rise up in our journey that seem to keep us from moving forward. Notice I said seem to keep us from moving forward. But when we allow the God of our understanding to guide us, to direct us, to tell us what to do, how to do it, where to go, then we know how to handle those challenges that show up in our lives. We can speak to it with the power that we are and tell it to part, to get out of the way and allow us to move through to our promised land. The promised land represents the unfoldment of our divine perfection as we move into that new life, that new way of being, that new us. And the wilderness experience represents what is the same as that void, that place of stopping and being and allowing the power to begin to take root within us. We have let go of the old, of the past, of that which no longer serves us. And so now we are there, open and receptive to what is becoming. The possibilities that are churning within us. For the new skin that is coming. And so as we move into the last stage, we move into the promised land, we are like new babies, like toddlers. We have new skin. We are innocent again. We are open and receptive to everything. We are in wonder because everything is made new. Now, it can be challenging when we come into that new skin because we come back into a world that still has some of the stuff from the old, and so we have to be more aware of where we go and what we do and who we relate to and connect with so that we are supported in this new skin and in this toddler stage and this era of wonder. And that is, once again, where we allow God to guide us, to let us know what God would have us do, where God would have us go, what God would have us say, and to whom. And so we move into that new life. all is made new. That plant has matured. And so such is the journey of transition. It is very similar to a rites of passage, ancient rites of passage. And it is challenging when we are unaware of what is going on. It is normal to have fear when we are in the process of transition because we don't know what's happening. And so it's my desire, it is my hope, my dream that having this information, because it's happening all around us right now, my beloveds, there is so much transition going on. So much. That we must prepare ourselves to move through it with grace, to move through it successfully, and to come out to the other side where we are reborn, we are reawakened, we are reignited with the fire of spirit within us. And so there's some steps I'd like to share with you. Now, these are not Brumet steps. He doesn't really give specific laid out steps, but he talks throughout the book about how to handle the transition process. And I do plan to teach that class next year at some point. But, so I made up my own stages. So be patient with me, okay? So be aware of the feelings that arise. Be aware of the feelings that show up. Fear, doubt, anxiety, grief, sadness. Be aware of them. Just be aware of them. Don't resist them. Be aware of them. The second is to feel them fully. Feel your feelings fully. It's something we teach in Radical Forgiveness. Feel your feelings when they come up. Feel them. Because it is unhealthy for us to suppress our feelings and emotions. They turn in on us and create conditions in our body. I can remember being down on the floor with my forehead on the carpet, feeling my feelings completely. And feeling as if the skin was being ripped from my body, as if I was being burned alive. And I just stayed there and sobbed with the most painfully deep sobs I had ever cried. And at some point, I saw my soul. And I knew what that transition had been about. I knew, and I got up and began to move toward that new me, that new awakening, that new awareness, that new level of consciousness, that new spiritual understanding. Feel those feelings completely. Let go of outer solutions. Let go of outer solutions. Turn away from the books and the classes. Don't call your girlfriends. Don't call the guys together for a beer. It is the time to go within and ask the questions. Even if it's, hey God, what's up? Or what is this for? What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say and to whom? I'm willing to do your will. But don't look for the outer solutions, because the solution is within us. Okay, begin. Oh, yes. Okay. Begin letting go of what was. Begin letting go of what was. It may be difficult to let go of what was. We've been pretty attached to it for some time. Be willing to let it go. Because it no longer serves us. And I'm not being insensitive to the loss of a loved one, but here's the thing, the holding on to that loved one in the physical body doesn't serve you anymore, because they are no longer in the physical body. They are in their spirit bodies and are closer to you than they ever were before. Begin to let go. Be willing to let go. If you can't be willing to be willing to be willing. But just offer that little willingness to Spirit, and Spirit will support you in letting the rest of it go. Look for those moments to experience joy without feeling guilty. If you've lost a loved one and you're having joy and excitement, you're having fun, and you start to feel guilty, understand that loved one is having fun and laughing and having joy right with you. And because you are happy and having fun and joy. So let go of the guilt, because you were meant to live in joy, and that person is in a perpetual state of joy right now. Expect the promised land. Expect it. See, in prayer, it's not what we ask for that shows up, it's what we expect. You've heard the phrase, expect a miracle. Not pray for one, expect a miracle. Be open and receptive that you have a right to it, that it is yours by divine birthright. Our elder brother Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is where? At hand. If you have something at hand, it usually means it's pretty close by, right? Like, for instance, a bowl of sugar is at hand. That means you can reach over, grab the bowl of sugar, and use it. So the kingdom of heaven, the promised land, our good, our magnificence, our new life, our new being is at hand. So expect it. Expect it. And so I want us to look at our affirmation. Okay. Shall we say it together? Ready? I experience change, awareness that the promised land is at hand. Again, I experience change with the awareness that the promised land is at hand. And once more, I experience change with the awareness that the promised land is at hand. Expect it. And so if you are experiencing transition right now, don't run from it. Don't resist it. It makes it more difficult. Embrace it. Embrace change. Go to meet it as if it is a dear friend coming to support you, because it is. Because as souls, every transition is a step closer to fulfilling the purpose for which we have come into the world. Embrace change, and let the God of your understanding embrace you and guide you through it. Thank you.
Our heart ministers are available after service today to offer prayer support for challenges or celebrations. And you may see them in the sanctuary, out on the grounds, and they are the ones wearing the lavender stoles. And prayer requests can be sent at any time from our website. I ask everyone to please take a connection card from the seat pocket in front of you. And we invite each of you to take a moment to fill out this card if you have a prayer request, question, or comment. And if you're new to Unity, you're invited to fill out the card and then also to visit our welcome table out on the patio after the service, and we'd enjoy getting to know you better. Thank you for checking the box if you're joining us in our weekly spiritual focus. And our spiritual focus this week is Embrace the Change. And the ushers will receive your card with the offering toward the end of the music. It's now time for our prosperity celebration. For credit card donations, there are envelopes provided in the seat pocket in front of you. And for those of you watching at home, just click on the donate button on our Watch Live page. One of the understandings of the great spiritual laws is that it is by giving that we expand the flow of goodness in our lives. Jesus, the master teacher, told us, "Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." I invite you to take your tithe or offering in your hand and be aware that God is the source of all your good. Repeat our affirmation with me together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Gonna open up, gonna open up, gonna open up to change. Gonna open up, gonna open up, gonna open up to change. Looking ever deeper, seeking a new way. Time to shift my thinking, embrace a higher way. Sing it with me, gonna open up, gonna open up, gonna open up, gonna open up to change, to change. Gonna open up, gonna open up, gonna open up to change. When we face the darkness, when we are in pain, loving kindness heals us, pulls us through again. Gonna lift us up to love, gonna lift us up, gonna sometimes in confusion. When we long for peace, stuck in dark illusion, trust is within reach. Gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up to love, to love. Sing it with me. Gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up to love. Let's do that again. Gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up to love. Gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up, gonna lift us up to love. Gonna lift us up to love. Gonna lift us up to love. You're walking in.
We are walking in the light of God.
We are walking in the light of God. We are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, walking, we are walking, walking, we are walking in the light of God.
And here are our children. Hi. Hi. Let us bless our children together. Children, you are loved, special, and important. The light of God shines through you. And let's stand and do our prayer for protection and our peace song. No, you want to hold my hand? Oh. Would you hold my hand? Thank you. Our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is swell. And our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God ever present, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Remember, you are the love, the light, and the peace in the earth right now. So let it shine and have fun.